Hello and welcome to Manga Toaru 96, and today we're going to talk about Toaru Majutsu no Indeks. Today's topic will be two characters that were introduced as antagonists in the story, but later they became Touma's valuable allies. To begin with, those two weren't even evil, it's just that some shit happened in their past which made them took the wrong turn in life, but that's nothing that getting punched by Touma's mean right hook can't fix. Which it did, and that is why Orianna Thompson and Sherry Cromwell managed to find the right path in life again. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you go and read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who Rude Disturb is. Orianna Thompson is a magician who was born in England and works as a mercenary. A woman who truly wants to help people, where she originally served as one of the main magic site antagonists of the Daihaseisa festival arc in Indeks, alongside Lidivia Lorenzenti. After her capture, she brokers a deal with Necessarius and works for them in order to help people during the chaos created by the increasing tension between Academy City and the Roman Catholic Church. Oriana does not hesitate to use her attractive looks to make others vulnerable, and is a master escape artist, able to use a human wall formed by a crowd to slip inside. She is shown to have no intention of involving civilians purposely. She shows regret for hurting Himegami Asya and stated that she will finish her mission, especially if it guarantees the happiness of others. Oriana is also shown to be flirtatious when she teasingly asks Touma if he wants to kiss her, and is considered a mature older sister type character by him. As for her past, Orianna Thompson has been a Christian all through her whole life, and her entire family as well. In the Toaru Majutsu no Indeks manga adaptation, prior to becoming a mercenary, she was apparently a very devoted nun since she was a young girl. During her time as a nun, she believed that people like her should act for the sake of others, and was usually seen offering small humanitarian acts to strangers. Where her faith was shaken when she helped Emily Lupton, an elderly woman, board a bus that later exploded due to a terrorist attack, and the old woman was one of the casualties. Sometime later, after the incident, she left the church and eventually became a practitioner of magic. After becoming a mercenary, she became known as Rude Disturb, a top-notch career in the magical world. Her ability is that she is able to run and hide, and that she is able to get away from any pursuers, even if they found her. More accurately, Oriana is a woman who will do anything to get away from her pursuers. Also, nobody is able to keep track of her actions. Even when they are prepared, she'll still be able to get away. She is a magician with many spells at her disposal, and she'll destroy bridges, create fires, and set up many talismans to get her pursuers off her back. Due to her immense versatility, she has been known never to use the same spell twice. It is shown that Oriana is extremely talented in tracking people as well, almost as good as she is in evading and escaping from them. This is due to her own prowess in escaping from her pursuers. In order to achieve that feat, she needs to know the current mindset of who is searching for her, as well as being knowledgeable in any magic that might be used to trace a target. In other words, in order to accurately lose track of an enemy, she indirectly learned the necessary skills for pursuing at its finest. As for her abilities, Oriana uses a technique called shorthand, in which she mixes the symbols and the colors of the four elements in Western magic. The use of the incompatible colors allows for a reaction that Oriana can use as an attack, though not only that, but complex spells such as counter spells as well. This is because she used a shorthand, her cursive writing on the flashcard, of instruction on the flashcard along with the incompatible colors and symbols like a mini original grimoire, where it is imperfect and unlike an original grimoire, it is destroyed when the spell activates. According to Motoharu, unlike grimoires, Oriana's shorthand purpose is not to pass on the techniques and knowledge for future generations, but to destroy the shorthand instantly when needed. Moreover, unlike original grimoires that corrupt its readers because of the scribbled writing of Oriana, no knowledge can be passed on. She used her shorthand instead of focusing on a particular element in order to circumvent enemies from reading her magic and making a defensive spell to counter it. Her various combinations are made through the usage of the incompatible colors and the names, as well as the usage of angels, which have laws for each of them based on Western astrology, where each relationship between the planets and the constellations have different functions due to the different angel. Because she uses page numbers on each flashcard to identify them, she cannot reuse the same spell again. This is to take advantage of the fact that her shorthand grimoires will lose control and self-destruct because it won't stabilize. Each new grimoire creates a new spell, where, because of their imperfection, the most each grimoire can last is 1 hour. If it's fast, it will self-destruct in a few seconds. Oriana has experience when it comes to melee combat, utilizing seductive and suggestive stances, which coupled with her already distractingly attractive appearance, results in a strike, grapple and counter style that robs her male opponents of any and all concentration. This, in combination with her magical prowess, allowed her to defeat Tsuchimikado, a vicious hand-to-hand combatant in his own right, though weakened at the time due to the using of magic, in a one-on-one fight, as well as simultaneously fighting Touma and Style Magnus to a standstill. Touma himself recalls in the 17th novel that she had astonishing combat capabilities and was able to retain the upper hand in fighting him and his 2 allies despite ultimately failing in her objective. When Oriana parts ways with Touma to assist Sherry Cromwell in defeating the Knights of England, it is noted that while she is an excellent courier and escape artist, she is not suited in fighting long drawn-out battles, specifically against the 8 fully equipped knights that were battling Sherry. Speaking of Sherry, let's move to her. Sherry Cromwell is a magician affiliated with the angelic church Necessarius. A woman with an incredibly wild and slow appearance, she is the sect's talented decoder. She is a magician that utilizes Kabbalistic principles to create her own brand of magic. A self-proclaimed woman who has as many convictions as there are stars. She is introduced as an antagonist but is a key ally to Touma and company later on. Due to her traumatic experience, she is a troubled and self-proclaimed woman who has as many convictions as there are stars and has been shown to be quite conflicted, wanting to take vengeance for her dead friend, but also not wanting to hurt others. What's consistent is that she just didn't want to lose her friend. Sherry is also a brusque woman with a tone of voice that is described as being both man and woman, as well as having a ridiculously heavy sound, as if she was a songstress who damaged her vocal cord due to smoking. Despite knowing Kanzaki Kaori, she refers to her carelessly as a Far East girl, and to Lucia and Angelina as nun number 1 and nun number 2, respectively, where perhaps it was this quirk that allowed her to quickly force Ursula out of her offishness when conversing with her in important matters. In her free time she sleeps in and does sculpting, after renting out another room in the dorm for the sole purpose of sculpting, which she can get into to the point that she will forget breakfast. As for her past, she was apparently a member of Necessarius even when she was a child. 20 years prior to the start of the series, Sherry was a part of a secret cell that was created within the Angelic Church to create a magic Esper hybrid. She was the one who taught the Esper known as Alice Warrior, a child like her, magic and spell, and became good friends with him, where when Alice tried to use magic, the contradiction between magic and AM provided fatal for Alice, which burst his blood vessels and severely injuring him. At which point operatives of the Knights of England came and destroyed the institution that Sherry and Alice were in after the higher-ups of the Angelic Church realized that they were in contact with the science side under the pretext of preventing the leakage of magic teachings with science. The Knights then killed Alice, who used himself as a shield, providing Sherry enough time to escape. This event traumatized Sherry, leading her to have suspicion over both the magic and science sides coming together. and dedicated her magic name and her golem in his name, due to the fact that he was the first thought that came into her mind. She also sculpted statues and busts of him in her free time. In the course of her life, she has attained the highest honor of emblems restoration and interpretation at the Royal Academy of Arts, and is referred to as its head. She often does lectures to the students there. She is so renowned that the British Museum and St. George Cathedral would ask her to do some artistic identification and restorations. As for her abilities, her magic name is Intimus115. I offer everything to my lost friend. She is a highly valuable member of Necessarius for her expertise in decoding and analyzing. She has the ability to decode grimoire codes hidden inside paintings, things like pigments, thickness, the theme of the painting, and the specific details can be converted into something that has a certain meaning to it. Thus, many times the interpretation of the emblems were discovered to be wrong hundreds of years later. Well versed in Kabbalah idols, her primary magic used for combat is to summon a golem named Golem Elis, named after her friend Elis Warrior. It is derived from Kabbalah but combined by Sherry with angelic spells. Since she is English, she changed the linguistic system of the golem from Hebrew to that of English. Furthermore, since she is Christian, she made the golem react to the cross. According to Indeks, Sherry apparently attempted to create an angel of dirt using the golem like an angel that looks like a human from the outside. The head, right arm, left arm, legs were all created in the image of a cross, each side assigned with the power of the 4 archangels, although it is not perfect as it is impossible for humans to create an angel. Using her magic pastel chalk to write a magic circle on a solid surface, Sherry can summon a golem that consists of materials in the surroundings, such as concrete, iron gates, wires, and even human body parts, as Sherry has often threatened. There is a secret code or core inside the golem that allows Sherry to control it. If it ever is destroyed, the golem too will be destroyed. It is also a safety measure which allows Sherry to force the golem to self-destruct. With the wave of the pastel chalk, Sherry can use it to force the golem to take in surrounding materials for a generation or have it recover automatically every 3 seconds after substantial damage. The stone golem has the ability to use anything around it to assimilate itself and to repair any wounds. On the other hand, if things that are unnecessary or even harmful to the structure are thrown to it, the self-repair system will have an error. Furthermore, it is implied that the golem is capable enough to do Sherry's lingerie for her. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Oriana and Sherry. And that will be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.